Alright, now we're going to get out the base piece. Set that aside and let the glue dry on that good. I'm going to get out the base piece. When you print it out, it has several different bases on there. I'm going to go ahead and cut a couple out because we're going to be doing another wall as well, but I'm going to finish one at a time. These you don't have to worry about scoring or anything. What you might want to do is actually glue it on a piece of foam core. I have a couple of pieces of foam core here. This is just some black piece of scrap foam core that I had that just happened to be close enough to 2x4 that I trimmed it up that would actually fit. This I found at my local dollar store. They had 20x30 sheets for $1 a piece. This stuff is ideal for your basing because then you're not, because you're going to make a bunch of them to fill out a dungeon. You can make a ton of these out of a 20x30 sheet for $1. That's pretty good. I'm going to use one of each because I had this scrap laying around, and I save all my scrap foam core because you never know what you might need it for. Put it inside of a piece to support it, or whatever. Cut this way. And there are lines on this to show you exactly where the wall will line up. He purposely did not put texture under the wall because that's kind of a waste of ink. If you're going to cover it up putting a wall piece on it, then that's kind of a waste of ink. I really love Tom's stuff. I know that a lot of you know that Tom and I are friends, but that's beside the point. Tom is a great guy. He does some great stuff. There are other cardstock manufacturers out there. I just personally, and it's all personal, preference. I personally prefer Tom's style of stuff. There's a couple others that I do use, but I personally prefer Tom's stuff. All right, there's our two wall sections. I'm going to go ahead and get the two bases out. We'll go ahead and glue them to the two bases. Now here is where I'm actually going to use a scrap piece of cardstock to kind of smear this out. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to put it on my base. I'm just going to kind of put the glue around like this. I'm going to take a scrap piece of cardstock. I'm just going to come in and kind of smear it out like this. This will ensure a nice even coating, and you can get it all the way up to the edges without worrying about it smearing out too much. Plus it will start to tack up pretty quick once you smear it out like that, so you need to be quick about that. Go ahead and get your base piece on there. A lot of times I will just turn it over. That should. Okay, and there's your base piece. Now, a lot of people, they don't like the white side showing, or what have you. Me, personally, it doesn't matter. It's just, it's a personal preference, which is the same thing with the black. If you prefer to use the black, so the sides can show black, you're more than welcome to. So like I said, it's just a personal preference. And it has nothing to do, and it will not affect the model in any way. The sides are the most important on the base piece. You can probably see the glue really good on this black piece. So go ahead and get this piece on there. You can kind of square it up with your fingers. Kind of rub it on pretty good there. Some extra glue. So you can wipe your extra glue off with your napkin, or whatever. Then I'll take and press it down good. And there you have 2 different wall bases. I'm going to put the broken wall on the black base. I'm going to set that off to the side. This is pretty good and dry now. So I'm going to go ahead and we're going to go ahead and glue it to this. This you shouldn't have to worry about. Just going to put one little line down through there, because when you push it down it will spread out a little. I do have a little too much on this edge, and that's where you can kind of smear it if you want. I mean, you're more than welcome to. I'm just going to go ahead and kind of come down through there like that. Now we're going to put the wall piece on there. I'm going to kind of turn it sideways so you can see, and there are dashed lines on there to help you line it up so you can make sure you're square with your dungeon tile. Kind of push down on it. And you don't want to be pushed too hard, because you don't want to mash your piece. Just hold it there for a second or two. Alright. And there is your 4-inch basic dungeon wall. There are ways. Tom's got a clip system that he's come with that you can take and you trim a little hole here that makes a little flap and use bobby pins. I will demonstrate how to do that in another video. I'll actually probably use this piece and the broken wall and put them together. So I'm going to set that off to the side. I'm going to get our broken wall. The main reason I wanted to use a broken wall is to illustrate reverse scoring. You may or may not be able to see them in the video, but there are blue triangles that Tom has, and he has a legend across the top of each sheet that tells you what they mean. Reverse scoring means you need to turn the sheet over and score on the reverse side. I'm going to go ahead and score my main side first. Just kind of look down through there. There's one there. And it just, you lightly drag it across there. You don't have to put pressure. If your knife's getting dull, that's something, you know, to think about with pressure. Now here you'll see there's a lot. This is a little bit more complex piece. There's some don't be afraid of these. This is not going to be that complex. And on this one, I'm not going to worry about using the ruler. I'm going to go ahead and freehand them, because it's supposed to be a broken wall, and if it's a little irregular, not a big deal to me. Like I said, it's personal preference. If you feel like you need to use your straight edge, then by all means do so. If you think you're good enough just to pull it across there, then you can do that as well. You just really want to make sure that, you know, and when I've got a long expanse, I always like to use it for a long expanse, because, or a long line, it makes it a little easier. Everything stays uniform across the bends. Alright, now, reverse scoring. What I like to do is I'll take my X-Acto knife and I will punch a little hole right through where the reverse scoring is to occur. You flip your sheet over, you won't be able to see it, so what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to take and draw a line. You can line up with the two little holes, and I'll draw a line there where they're going to be. That's another thing. I mean, if you don't feel like you can actually just use the holes, take your pencil, put your little line across there, then just take and score. Because the pencil on this back side won't matter. It will not show up. It will be inside the wall. Alright, now you've done your reverse scoring, and I'll show you, because that means the wall, that piece will bend the opposite direction. Alright, we're going to go ahead and cut this out. Get this piece cut out so we can get this thing together and show you what it's going to look like. Alright. there are a variety of models and a variety of techniques you can employ in doing these. I'm just showing you one way, which is the way I do them. I'm sure that there are other people that do things differently. I know that Tom has added, I think he calls them GSD files for the robo cutters, which will actually do all your scoring and cutting for you if you can put your sheet in there. But he does not want people to think that you have to have those to do this, which is part of the reason that prompted me, we'll go ahead and cut the tabs freehand, to do these videos, which show people that this can all easily be done. Just takes a little time on some things. Like this is a more complicated piece, so it's going to take a little bit more time to cut out. But the results are well worth the extra time. Back to the RoboFiles. If you have one of these, Tom tries to update and have a file for each new release. Now it may be a few weeks after the actual set releases before the file comes up, and it could be as soon as the same day. It just depends on what he's got on the production line and what he's got going on as to when he can get those files up on the website. And you can find those in the free section of his website. He also has several free models that are in the beginner's guide that you can actually build and try out to see if this is exactly what you want to do. Almost done here. I know that I told you a lot of times I'll use a straight edge for a long piece, but on the tabs it doesn't really make that big a difference. Now see right there, I don't know if you can see it, I kind of got off because there's a join there, so I'm going to go back and actually cut a little bit more there. I would keep some spare blades handy. Nothing dulls a knife like paper. So, alright, now there is your broken wall section.